Chapter 9. We waited, the clock ticking more loudly, minute by minute. Jackie said. I wonder what's keeping Daddy. You know, Marcia said to Mrs. Sims, you really can go now. We can wait for Daddy by ourselves. I'm sure he'll be along any moment. Don't be ridiculous, Mrs. Sims said. What kind of hostess would I be? Besides, it's probably against the law. Excuse me, Annie said abruptly. I need to go to the bathroom. Then Rebecca created a diversion by asking if she could have some more frosting. Please? So Mrs. Sims didn't notice that rather than head for the bathroom, Annie raced straight for the back door. 5 minutes later, enough time for Rebecca to get frosting all over her frock, we heard the sound of a horn honking loudly. It was the Hummer. Ooh, that must be Daddy, Jackie said as we all put on our coats, not even bothering to peek in the goodie bags Mrs. Sims handed us. Well, goodbye, Zinnia piped up. Happy birthday again. Mrs. Sims squinted out the back door. Has your father grown a mustache since I last saw him? Oh, yes, Jackie said. You know, France. I should at least say hello to him. Mrs. Sims started for the door. Oh, no, Jackie said. I mean, didn't Will say his family party is tonight? I suspect you'd want to hurry, and you still have packages to bring out to your car, you know, out front. We'd hate to keep you so. Goodbye again, Zinnia said. We rushed out before Mrs. Sims could say anything else. Then we buckled ourselves in and waited for her to totally and completely leave, meaning the parking lot as well. Because, of course, she was parked in front like any normal person would be while we were in the back. Some party that was for us, thanks to you, Rebecca said to Annie. It was about as much fun as the one on New Year's Eve. Okay, Annie ignored Rebecca and put the key in the ignition. Everybody ready? We said that we were, but when she turned the key, nothing happened. Are you putting your hand on the gas hard enough? Annie called to Dorinda down beneath her legs. Of course I am, Dorinda said annoyed. You know eventually we're going to have to devise a more efficient way of doing this. This can't be safe for everyone. And it's certainly not safe for me. Well, press harder, Annie instructed. But however hard Dorinda pressed, and her grunts told us she was pressing very hard, it wasn't hard enough. What are we going to do? Georgia asked. It's too far to walk, Petal's lip quivered. We'll freeze to death. There's nothing for it. Annie picked up the car phone, a device none of us had ever used before. I'll just have to call Pete. She went through her usual routine. Call information, wait, impersonate Daddy, beg Pete to come help out for double the pay, called him old chap, and ring off, after which she quickly changed back into her party clothes. You look ridiculous, Rebecca said. Have I ever mentioned that before? Pretty much, Annie said, but we can't have Pete seeing me and Daddy driving the car in disguise. He'll know something's up then. Like he won't already, Rebecca snickered. That's not helpful, Annie said. Then as the snow started to fall gently, we all waited in silence for Pete to come. When he got there, we were hugely relieved. Kids Castle had closed for the day, and soon it would be dark. Hello, Ates, he said as we all got out to greet him. What seems to be the problem with the Hummer? And where, by the way, is your dad? In the bathroom, Jackie said. Gone for coffee, Marcia said at the same time. Huh, Pete said, and here I thought you'd say he was in France. That's Mommy, said Zinnia earnestly. Weren't you paying proper attention that time you came to visit us? Right-o, Pete said. Well, while we're waiting for your dad to appear from wherever he is, why don't I look at the car for you? Which is what he did, moving to climb behind the wheel. But first, he said, the falling snow making his hair look like he had more salt than pepper in it now. Has your dad shrunk since I last saw him? I don't remember him needing to sit on dictionaries to drive his own car. They're reference materials, Jackie said. Mommy's. Then she finished lamely, having run out of lies. I don't know how they got there. Never mind, Pete said, moving them out of the way, but you must admit it is all very strange. Dictionaries appearing where they shouldn't be. Your dad suddenly speaking with a British accent. Is there any reason why he couldn't be British? Annie asked irritably. She was sensitive about her daddy accent. Couldn't we all be British? Sure, Pete said agreeably enough as he moved the seat back. Why not? I mean, we do all sound sort of British when we talk. For all we know, we are in England. He turned the key in the ignition, but nothing happened. Pete said. I was sure you were calling me out here on another false alarm, but there really is something wrong. He popped the hood, got out, and started rooting around to where we thought the engine might be. A minute passed, 2, 3, the sky getting darker all the while. At last, we heard a low whistle. Pete's head popped up, and then his hand. In it was a long piece of black rubber with copper wires sticking out of it. What's that? Annie said. Did the driver somehow break it? By driver, do you mean your dad? Pete asked. When Annie nodded, he went on. No, I'm afraid this is a case of sabotage. He eyed us all. First, you have me come out to the house and nothing is wrong with your car. And now you have me come out here only to find a car that's been tampered with. His gaze narrowed. Are you sure one of you doesn't have a crush on me and is trying to capture my attention? Goodness, no, we all said at once. Do you honestly think, Annie said, raising herself up with the pride of an adult, that any one of us would do something like that? Pete studied us for a long time. No, he finally admitted, I suppose not. But then what? Annie said. Then if it wasn't any of you, some other person did this. Someone wanted to make sure you wouldn't get home, or at the very least that you'd be delayed. Do you have any idea who? No, we all said, but now we were worried. We had to get home. Please, Mr. Pete, Annie begged on our behalf, is there anything you can do to fix a car? Of course, he said. He got cables and did some stuff. Then he got back behind the wheel and tried the starter again. This time it hummed. We don't know how to thank you, Annie said. I mean, with a check, of course, but her daddy left the house today without his checkbook. No worries, Pete said. I've always trusted your dad, but my, he has been gone at the coffee bathroom for a long time. He paused, and I really wouldn't feel right leaving until he returns. Blasted adults. The ones you wanted disappeared on New Year's Eve, and the rest kept sticking their nose in your business. Please, Mr. Pete. Now Annie was begging in a way we'd never seen her do before. There were practically tears in her eyes. Please don't wait for our father to return. He can't come back to drive the car if you're here. So if you do wait, you might be waiting for... We were all sure she was about to say forever, but she never got a chance because Pete, perhaps feeling sorry for her, cut her off. Stop babbling, lamb, he said gently. If it makes you fret so to have me wait, I won't do it, but do me just one favor to ease my mind. Anything, Annie promised. Anything. Pete disappeared inside his van again, then returned with 2 large wooden blocks to which he'd attached giant rubber bands. Here, he offered, holding them out to Annie. I have the feeling your dad has grown shorter since I last saw him. If he puts these on the gas and the brake, he should have no trouble reaching them. Now there really were tears in Annie's eyes. Thanks, she said, rising up on tiptoes to lay a kiss on Pete's stubbly cheek. You're the best mechanic ever. Thank you. Pete touched the place where he'd been kissed. Almost no one ever kisses me. Then he got serious again as he moved towards his truck, calling, and promise me one more thing. Anything, Annie said. Again, anything. You still have my number, he said. We nodded. Promise me you'll use it if you ever need someone to help you with emergencies, even bigger than cars that are perfectly fine, or cars that won't start. I'm going to be worrying about you a lot. You don't need to worry about us, Mr. Pete, Annie said. We're the Sisters' Aid, after all. But I promise, if we need you, we'll call. The ride home was less hair-raising than the previous rides had been, even with the falling snow. With those new blocks on the pedals, Annie could now drive without help, but it was still hair-raising because we didn't know what we were going home to. Someone had cut a cable in our car, delaying our arrival home. Someone maybe didn't want us to get home at all. And yet, although we were filled with fear and anticipation, we were tired too. It is exhausting, Jackie said, telling all of these lies to people. Do you think it's wrong of us to do it? Do you think it makes us bad people? No, said Annie slowly, as though she were working out the thoughts, even as she was speaking the words. I don't. Adults train us to tell white lies all the time. They say, tell Aunt Martha she doesn't look fat in that dress. They say, tell Uncle George his cooking tastes great. None of that stuff is ever true, but we have to say it to save other people's feelings. Well, now we have to save something bigger. We have to save Mommy and Daddy, maybe even ourselves. And if we can lie about fat clothes and bad food and it's okay, I don't see anything wrong with lying to save people's lives, even if we are having fun while we're doing so. We were silent for a long moment, digesting all that she had said. Annie really had grown as smart as any adult we knew. Then, what do you think is going on at our house right now? Georgia asked. To that, Annie said, driving on into the night, I have no answer.